What's up everyone, it's HK Gaming. Today I have for you a crazy build for Technomancer. Even after the nerf, it is still doing a crazy amount of damage. You know what, let's just get right into it. Let's go over the skill first. We'll be using the Bladed Rounds, Bladed Turret, and the Cold Snap. Bladed Round of course is our major way to apply damage. You will never have to worry about using the second magazine or losing Bladed Round at all. And for the Bladed Turret, it will do a little bit more damage for us. It will also attract the enemies and give us more time and space to do damage as well. And for the Cold Snap is our only way to apply freeze and do a little bit more damage with the Bladed Rounds. But also this is a very useful skill. With the build that we are using, we are able to wipe out all of the enemies before they even get out of the door or whatever places that they are spawning. This is gonna speed up the whole process a lot faster. Next, let's go over the class point. Of course, we are going for the Pestilence. We'll follow the top path. So go with weapon damage and then weapon ledge. And then what we want from here is to go bottom with the exposing toxin. This will give a extra vulnerable effect which makes us to do more damage to the enemies. With that 40% more effective, that's 35% extra damage. And then just follow the top path, but we also need this. Enemy with toxic effects receive 10% more damage. And then Assault Master, of course, we're using Assault Weapon. And then what we also want is the two sides of the power. This is the most important thing. The 15% more damage does not do a whole lot for you, but the 20% of damage is doing a lot. And then we'll need this Anomaly power for some extra damage, but it's not as important. If you worry about survivability, you can go for the health regeneration instead of this. But I would recommend doing a little bit more damage since you heal whenever you do damage, so you don't have to worry about too much about surviving. And then go bottom from here, 15% more damage, and then activating the turret gives you 40% extra weapon damage. This is very important. This is only a 10-second buff, but the cooldown is only 7 seconds. So you can almost always have this 40% weapon damage. And now let's go over the build. The weapon that I'm using is a submachine gun tactical version. The mods I'm using is the Killing Spree, giving you 25% extra weapon damage, and it goes up to 3 times. So 75% in total. And the second mod is the Storm Whip, which gives you a little bit extra damage every 2 seconds. But if you do not have the exact same mod, that's fine. You just need that Killing Spirit and with whatever highest firepower with a submachine gun. But if you cannot find something like this, you can use a legendary submachine gun. The one here is the Daimyo. It has the ultimate Storm Whip, which gives you extra damage for every 1 second. And then I have the Killing Spirit on here. But it is a little bit less firepower than the submachine gun that I'm using. But the ultimate Storm Whip will make up the damage, so it's not gonna be a huge difference. But I still prefer to use a submachine gun with higher firepower. And the other two guns that you can just go with whatever, you're not gonna use them anyways. Oh, I almost forgot. The reason why we are not using the Assault Rifle. After the nerf, when Technomancer are not doing as much damage as before, so if you have not yet reached the final build, Assault Rifle might not be as powerful since it has only 45 magazine size. You really have to make every shot counts. But for submachine gun, you would do around the same damage in the same time. But you can play pretty reckless and you don't have to aim for that weak point every single time. You can see that from the gameplay footage for the next half of the video. And the reason why we are choosing the submachine gun instead of the night machine gun or the double gun is because alright, I'll just show you here. So this is how fast the assault rifle shoot. And this is the tactical assault rifle. And this is the light machine gun. And this is the submachine gun. It looks like it's trash, right? But look at this. So this is a single click left button shoot. So after you click it one time, immediately click it the second time. So this is how it looks like in a slow motion. Super accurate and super stable. And when you click it fast, just look at this. It's spam crazy. It has a much higher damage per bullet comparing to the double gun and the light machine gun, and it shoot a lot faster. So basically, assault rifle and the submachine gun is the only choice for us. But we have a lot more bullets, which will be fine if we miss some of our shot, and we will just do as much damage comparing to the assault rifle at the same time. But using the tactical assault rifle, you cannot do that spamming type of shot. The speed will not speed up, but submachine gun tactical version can do this. It's gonna do a crazy amount of damage in a very short period of time. And now let's look at our headgear. The headgear that I'm using is the toxic lid, which will give us 40% of the ammo after we kill an enemy with toxic effects. This will ensure us to have the bladed rounds for the whole entire game. And for the second mod, I'm using the mitigation from death. It stacks up your armor after you kill enemies. It stacks up to 3 times. It gives you 45,000 armor per kill. So it's go up to 135, around 135,000. That's more than the armor that I have, which is 50,000 right now, as you can see here. So this is gonna keep you alive with no problem at all. And for the upper armor piece, I'm using the Ice Storm. Killing enemies freezed by the cold snap skill will now do an explosion, causing damage to nearby enemies. If there are a lot of enemies standing together, you'll be wiping out the whole place with a single enemy death. And the second mod that I'm using is the Radical Therapy, which gives you 15% more damage with the enemies affected by toxic. Now there is a level 3 mod which is 25% more damage, I believe, but I've not yet seen it. So if you have that 25, you can use the 25% instead of this 15%. But I'm using the 15%, it is still doing a crazy amount of damage. And for the lower armor piece, I'm using the spare mag, which gives you one more magazine for the bladed rounds, just in case if you run out of ammo, or if you are playing multiplayer with other players, where enemies have more health and you cannot kill them in time. And the second mod that I'm using is that 25% more damage against enemy with freeze. This is for the elite enemies. You can just use the cold snap to freeze them and then do a lot more damage to them. Or if you have the 25% more damage against toxic enemy, then you can do that too. With that 15% on our upper armor piece, that's 40% in total. And for the gloves, I'm using the Bloodlust, giving you extra firepower stacked up to 3 times after you kill an enemy. And the second mod is the Dum Dum Bullets, which give you a 10% extra assault weapon damage. And for the footgear, I'm using the Critical Analyze, which gives you extra 15% critical damage with bladed rounds. But if you do not want that, you can use that 25% extra damage against the toxic enemies. That's 40% in total. With that 25% extra damage against the enemies with freeze, it's gonna stack up crazy after you use the cold snap. And the second mod, I'm using the Sharp Eye. This is the best mod. It gives you extra firepower up to 3 times after you kill enemies. So with the Bloodlust and the Killing Spree and the Sharp Eye, the extra damage that it gives you is crazy. So you have to warm up your weapon by killing 3 enemies before it reaches its full potential. And for all of the skill, you want the bonus firepower, long range damage, and close range damage as the attribute. But as long as you have bonus firepower, it should be fine. So you want at least a bonus firepower on the gear set. And yeah, that's it for the build. I will leave the gameplay footage at the end. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And that will be it for today's video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be making more gaming videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.